Hello and welcome. My name is Shane Watson. I'm the Public Information Officer and a Prevention Specialist for notMYkid. We are here with many of the notMYkid staff members and the staff members who kicked off our first annual amplifiMYsummer program just this last week. We finished up, it's Monday through Thursday. We finished up week one, and there was some amazing feedback, both from the participants, from the parents, and from the staff members involved as well. So we wanted to bring this to you because, you know what, writing down a description of this program does not do it justice. We wanted you to hear it directly from those who are bringing this program to your teens. So first, we're going to let everyone introduce themselves, starting with Geronda.
I'm Geronda, Chief Programs Officer.
Tomas.
Yep, Tomas, Prevention Specialist. That's right. And Peer Support Specialist as well.
Ariza.
Oh, you're on mute.
You're muted, Ariza. There we go.
Ariza Martinez, and Operations Manager.
Antu.
I am also a Prevention Specialist and
Promise.
a Peer Support Specialist.
Oh, sorry about that, Antu. Promise.
I am a AmeriCorps member.
Maddie.
Hi, my name is Maddie Rose. I'm a prevention specialist and a peer support specialist.
And finally, Taylor.
Taylor Gary, Prevention Specialist and Peer Support Specialist.
So starting us off, what is amplifiMYsummer and who can participate? I'll open that up to anybody that wants to answer.
I was going to step back for a second because it is a super exciting program and I was excited to talk about it. But so I'll just go ahead. It is a summer, 2 weeks of conversation, of fun for middle and high school students. For the most part, if they're moving into middle school or moving into high school or have been in high school for a bit, we have a place for them. And it's an opportunity for them to just have something to do over the summer where they can get connected to other teens and have a bit of fun. I think I said fun like 3 times. Are you getting that the theme of it is fun?
It's a lot of fun.
Definitely. Yeah, not only is it a lot of fun, if I can add something too, like we weasel in, we sneak in some nice skills, life skills for them to learn. And that just, it's so cool to even hear the feedback the next day on what they remembered from the day before. Because that just means that it sticks. It sticks for them.
I just want to add too, there's just so much interactions that's going on. On the first day, I mean, most of the kids really don't know each other, but we just completed 4 days and it feels like family.
Yeah,
For sure.
Now, how long does it go for each session each day? I know that we have 2 groups. We have a middle school group, we have a high school group. How long is each day's session for each group?
Yeah, so the cycle is 8 days. We're going Monday through Thursday, and we're going 90 minutes each. So
And that's for 2 weeks.
That's for 2 weeks. Yeah, Monday through Thursday for 2 weeks. Like you said, we've separated between the junior high or middle school students and the high school students. That way they can, have more of their peers that they're interacting with.
And what was the focus in week one? This is what I really wanted to capture. When we had our team meeting this morning on Zoom, the energy, the passion, what I was hearing in everyone's voice was focused around what actually took place during those days, Monday through Thursday this week. What were the focal points? What were the topics of conversations? What was the communication about what actually took place? And what were the activities Monday through Friday this week, or Monday through Thursday this week?
Well, Monday and Tuesday, Monday right off, we started talking about stress and anxiety. Coming into a new program, getting with people, you have no clue who's going to be there. The stress level, the anxiety level might be up. So we started with stress and anxiety and basically put them in a situation where they gave us what they knew about it. And then by day 2, we were putting them in a stressful situation. So by day 2, we went in straight into escape the room. And they had to be in a room and unlock each level by answering riddles with a bunch of people they just met the day before. So that was day 1. And then the second day, or the second topic for the week, was friends communication. You've been away from your friends for a little bit, but have you been communicating with them? How do they recognize you? What do you show up for with them? And then that second day, they also did another experiential learning, basically, where they're in a situation where they have to communicate and see if their friends can get what they're trying to communicate.
Yeah, and if I can add too, like what was super dope about that was how there was a few of them that were able to recognize, like, yeah, I do have a lot of anxiety around some people that I don't necessarily know. My parents made me do this, but like Ariza said, 4 days. We're talking a 4-day turnaround. All of a sudden, with just 90 minutes, mind you, all of a sudden on Thursday, when we're like, all right, we're gonna see you all on Monday, they're like, what? Nothing tomorrow. Like they were already missing the fact that they weren't going to be logged in and just chopping it up with one another the very next day. So that right there, that says a lot.
Now you do breakout sessions, and that's one thing I want to emphasize. Sometimes you're doing things with the full group, but you're also doing a number of these activities in smaller groups. What size of groups are you generally breaking teens out into?
It's varied, right, guys? What have we varied with from what to
It's
what?
varied from like 4 to 12, I feel like, depending. Yeah.
I'm like, it's nice because we get into our small groups and then we switch to another small group. But at the end of the activities, we always convene as a big group together.
Wrap it up. Awesome.
For sure. And then being a young group for some of them, especially those middle school students, they're used to getting up, getting active. And although we're virtual, that still kind of represents that getting up and moving to a new spot, even though they're still behind, whether it be their phone or a laptop, but it still makes it feel like it's moving forward and like the program is just continuing to evolve.
Now this I'm going to ask each of you individually, because I heard things this morning and I know everybody's going to have an answer, and some of you may have the same answer. So I'll start with Geronda. What was the highlight of week 1 for you?
Gosh, there were so many highlights, and I don't want to take everyone's, but I would say I'm going to take it, guys. We do Snack Frenzy every day, and that's on purpose so that we can purposely get up and get ourselves something to eat. We focus a lot on self-care, and so having everyone come back into the room, change their screen name to their snack name, and then chat about, like, what are you eating? Oh, why are you eating that? Did you make that? Where'd you get it from? It's really cool to hear the conversation around the food and to watch everyone taking care of themselves and to see if people are hesitant to take care of themselves, because that's why we're here, to make sure that we're supporting you in that. So that's my favorite.
Awesome. Tomas, how about your highlight?
Man, I'm going to double that up. There's something about breaking bread with somebody that makes you feel connected to them. And although we might not necessarily be eating the same thing, you know, it's just something about us eating together, right? That builds this connection. And kind of like Geronda was saying, you know, it really just, it helps to hear one another and what each person is interested in or why they made a specific selection. You know what I mean? So I think food, you can't go wrong when it comes down to food.
We got 2 food answers so far. How about Ariza? What was your highlight of week 1?
You know, I'm gonna say my highlight is probably the interaction with everyone. And you all know I am a big introvert, shy, don't really talk much, and some of those kids are the same way because that's how they felt, but we are coming out of our bubble and I love it.
That's definitely a highlight, even just from what I've heard, not even necessarily taking part in those sessions. If you can get people to get that comfortable by day 4, where they didn't even want to take day 5 off, you've clearly created an environment where they feel safe enough to open up. And that's a short amount of time in 4 days. So that leads me to you, Antu. What was your highlight of week 1?
Yeah, you know, one of my best highlights was working with a student, and it was on the topic of being assertive and being aggressive. And it was a practical scenario that I was able to kind of use. And I was able to kind of say, was I being aggressive or assertive? And he was like, you were being assertive. I was like, well, what would have made that more aggressive? And we got to really, you know, learn in that practical situation. And that was really a highlight. And one of the breakout rooms that was really cool was where we would draw, it was part of communication. We would draw what was being described to us. And I remember saying in the breakout room, oh man, I don't think I could do this. I don't think I could do it. And that same student said, come on, man, we're family. You got this. And I was like, oh, you know, and that was really cool. That was really cool.
Life lessons, and you're seeing the results already. They're turning that back on you, what you're hoping that they're learning through the process. Promise, what was your highlight from week 1?
I would have to agree. The overall comfort level that we achieved just as a group was absolutely outstanding. And the amount of like confidence that the students started to feel and expressing their feelings and concerns was just astounding. It was amazing.
Now, Maddie, you were not there during week 1, but you are going to be there during week 2. What are you looking forward to doing?
I would say that I'm looking forward to actually being able to, for one, get to know the kids on like a much deeper level, because sometimes that can be a little bit harder, right? But with this, it seems like it's just much easier to get to know them, especially because we are taking so much time interacting with them. And the other thing that I'm really excited for is the experiential learning aspect, because a lot of times, you know, we can, you know, you can get into a situation where all of a sudden it sounds like a lecture and all the kids are like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. But then with this, it's more of like activities, and it's not we're talking at them. It's like we're doing something fun to make sure that they can learn the skills. And that's what I'm most excited for, is getting to know them and teaching them stuff without it feeling like teaching, with it just being like having a blast with, you know, buddies.
That makes all the difference with preteens and teens. If they can go hands-on and they can participate in that learning process, and it's not just a lecture, that's how they actually retain that information, and it's going to hold their attention. Finally, last but absolutely not least, Taylor, what was your highlight from week 1?
I think the main highlight for me is seeing these teens come in, right? We have quarantine going on. We got all the stress in the world, and there's a lot going on for, you know, not just teens, but for everybody. But they came in with, you know, we do a stress or rest check every day. You know, where's your stress at? Where's your rest? Like, how much rest are you getting, or how stressed have you been? And what the coolest thing ever was is seeing from the beginning of the week, them going from super high stress to dropping down to like 1 or 2 stress on a scale to 5. So it's really important seeing that when you put in the work and you get this communication and support that you need, your stress levels do go down in life. So I think it's really cool, because that's part of why they want to keep coming back.
It's amazing. It's got to be really cool in that short amount of time to actually see it having the effect that we're hoping that it's having. And I know that you give them self-care homework at the end of each session to make sure that they are taking care of themselves in the interim between the time that they last see you and when they come back and see you the next time. Now, I'm going to open this next question up to anybody before we wrap up here. What if a parent is seeing this summary, they're hearing the energy, they're hearing the passion from prevention professionals that obviously, clearly are committed to this work and believe in this work, and they're hearing about these results, and they're debating about whether or not they're going to sign up their teen for the next session, which begins in July. What would your words be to that parent who's kind of debating whether or not to do that?
Man, well, something that I have to add is I love being able to get feedback from parents. And as a matter of fact, we got an email earlier this week about how a parent's, how a particular participant really identifies as being an introvert and very shy, but yet this parent was saying how much their child was giddy and looking forward to signing on the very next day. And how, like, so we're not only seeing it while we're in the session, but parents are seeing the change even at home. And that's just one of countless feedback or feedback from the parents that we've gotten so far.
I think one thing I want to touch on and follow up with that on Tomas is that, you know, from the growth that all of us have seen in a week with the teens that have signed up, I think it'd be a mistake not to sign up for this, because there is not many resources and opportunities like this out there right now during quarantine and not being able to leave. So this is a perfect setup, especially during quarantine.
Facts. So true. So true.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Taylor, you said it. It's almost like you have to sign up if you want that opportunity for your kids. If you've been looking for that opportunity and you didn't know where to look, and you're seeing this, you found it.
Yeah.
You totally
go further.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to add, it's safe, it's fun, and it's positive. It has a lot of interaction. I don't know, it's really hard to explain too.
And they're coming away having learned life lessons that are going to not only better their summer. It's going to prepare them from the school year coming up and life in general coming up as well. July 13th, the next group begins. Down in the description and the comments below this video, we will paste the link so you can find out more information and you can sign up. Thank you so much to all of you, the notMYkid staff. This is the group that's running amplifiMYsummer for this group, and we'll be doing it for the next group as well. You want your teens to be a part of this program. Thank you so much to all of you.